Hey young friends, Dr. Bill here. As always, I'm glad that you've chosen to spend some time with me as we keep working through our sessions on big names in the Bible. Today we're going to take the first of probably 3 looks at a person named Daniel. Now there's a book in the Bible that bears his name. It comes right after Ezekiel. Daniel was set during the time of the Babylonian captivity. You may remember from some of our previous lessons that Babylon laid siege to the land of Israel and the city of Jerusalem. And eventually the Babylonians proved so strong that they conquered the Hebrew people. They destroyed the temple, they destroyed the city of Jerusalem, and then they took a lot of the Hebrew people and they moved them from the land of Israel all the way to Babylon. They were to live there for a long time, strangers in a strange land. Well, the stories that Daniel tells reveal an awful lot about the struggles of the Hebrew people as they tried to fit in and as they tried to make a new life living a long, long way from home. So our story begins today with Daniel and 3 of his friends. In this story, Daniel and his 3 friends are very young men, and they have been selected to participate in a Babylonian training program. The idea is that the Babylonian ruler, the king there, wanted some Hebrew people to sort of be a part of his government. The idea is that if these Hebrew people learned some things about the Babylonians, they would be able to better represent those ideas to the Hebrew people and also to represent the Hebrew people to the Babylonian king and all of his workers. So Daniel and his 3 friends were selected to participate in this training program. Well, as a part of that, the Babylonian leader of this program insisted that they should all eat Babylonian food. And a lot of it was very, very rich, and there was lots and lots of wine. Well, Daniel and his 3 friends took one look at the menu for all of that food and realized there were a lot of foods on that list that were unclean. And what I mean by that, they went against the laws that God had given them about what they could and could not eat. There were items on that list that if Daniel and his friends ate it, they thought that they would be unfaithful to God. So Daniel and his 3 friends went to their supervisor and they made a deal. They said, hey, let's do a test. Why don't you feed all of that rich food and wine to all of these other people? Meanwhile, I and my 3 friends, we will eat only vegetables and we will drink only water. And we'll do this for 10 days. Now, after the 10 days, you can do a test and see which one of us is healthier and stronger. Well, the supervisor agreed to that. And so while all the other people in the program were eating this Babylonian food, this rich food and lots of wine, Daniel and his friends were eating only vegetables and drinking only water. And at the end of 10 days, they did a survey, or they looked at the results, and they found out that Daniel and his friends were stronger and healthier. Not only that, the king heard about this and he approved. He said, wow, these young men have excelled. They have done exceedingly well. This is a good thing. So Daniel and his friends stuck to their principles, and they said, there are some things that we can do and there's some things that we cannot do. And one of those things we cannot do is to eat the food that you've put before us. And so they found a way to maintain their diet and their faithfulness to God. So why is this important? Well, chances are all of us at one time or another have moved from one town to another, or we have simply changed grades or changed schools. Maybe we've become a part of a new team. And whenever we enter that new situation, the one thing we don't want to do is to stick out. We don't want to look like we're just sort of the odd person out there. We want to find a way to fit in, and we want to find a way to belong. And so we learn kind of the rules of the game. We learn how it is that a person gets to be a part of the team. We learn what it's like to live in this new city, what's expected and what's not okay. And the same thing when we change schools or go into a new grade. We learn what's cool and what's uncool. Well, that's not a bad thing, because it's important for us to feel like we belong places. But sometimes, in our efforts to try to fit in and to try to belong, we can give up too much, and we can lose ourselves. What I mean by that is that we can lose who we really are on the inside. And so what Daniel and his friends show us in this story is that it's important for us to put up some guardrails, some boundaries, and have a clear understanding about what it is that we think we can do and still be okay and still remain faithful to God, and what we won't do. We can say, you know, there are some things I can do, but this I can't do. This is too important to who I am. This is too important for me as I try to remain faithful to God. Daniel and his friends show us the importance of having a real clear set of boundaries, of us being able to say, yeah, I can do that, but no, I won't do that. In other words, clear sense about what it means to be faithful. So I hope that you'll give that some thought. I hope that you'll think about what it is that you won't turn loose of. I hope that you'll think about what it is that you say, you know, I can do this, but I just won't do that. That's one of the first lessons that Daniel teaches us. Well, as always, if you have any questions, you can send me an email, give me a phone call, shoot me a text. I'd be glad to talk with you anytime, anywhere. This is the first week of summer vacation, so whatever you're doing these days, I hope that you're having a lot of fun, and I hope that you stay safe. I'll see you next week. You take care, and God bless. Bye-bye.